Welcome back. In this second module, we will focus on unique value proposition, business model canvas, and business plans. This first lesson will focus on unique value proposition and its importance when we consider opening our own social enterprise and even once we have one opened. The contents of this lesson will address several topics. Specifically, what are we talking about when we talk about unique value proposition? The power of a unique value proposition, and why is it difficult to create our unique value proposition, and how can we make that easier? At the end of the module, you will also find an activity related to this topic addressed, in which you'll have the opportunity to put what you have learned into practice independently. Let's dive into our first topic. What is the unique value proposition, and why is it important for startup companies? It must be said first that the unique value proposition can also be called a unique selling proposition. You'll sometimes hear me refer to it as the UVP also, the unique value proposition. It is a tool that clarifies, in a few words, what benefits a product or service offers, what customer problem it solves, and above all, what distinguishes your product or service from others on the market. It should be emphasized that the customer's needs, opinions, and desires are all to be taken into account here. It is precisely by identifying ourselves with the customer that the type of unique improvement we can make to their life will become more apparent to us as we develop our product or service. Our second topic will focus on why we need to have a unique value proposition. The UVP is valuable to us and our customers for the following reasons. It helps the customer understand the value of what you are providing and sets you above those providing something similar. Your UVP will help you understand the needs of your customers and help you to meet those needs. And it also ensures you are in an environment which continues to adapt your product and your service to your customer and their needs. Consequently, this will attract your ideal target audience and customers. Ultimately, the relationship with the customer is created through the reality we present with the UVP. We've discussed a UVP, what it is and why we need it, but for some, identifying and creating a UVP, it can be difficult. Let's look at why that is and ways that we can make it easier. First of all, it is important not to reduce the UVP to a set of qualifications or standards that we have obtained, or to create a generally broad concept. Your UVP should be short, clear, and catchy, so that the customer can grasp the uniqueness of your product. For example, if we had an online platform for sustainable clothing, a UVP that states, on our platform you can buy sustainable clothes. It's just too general and not at all catchy. Whereas something like a community where you can shop fast with more than 30 slow fashion brands already sounds much better, doesn't it? The essential difference between the two is that our new UVP brings in our uniqueness with a play on words between fast and slow, which makes it more catchy. But the uniqueness of the site, allowing a wide choice, is also conveyed. In addition, the discourse of the speed of purchase is emphasized, which could very well be a further advantage for the customer using our service. When trying to create your UVP, identifying the following can make the task less daunting. First, what is the problem your product or service will reduce? What do your target group think is missing? How can your product or service solve the problem? 3. Is it unique? Do other companies or startups do the same thing, in the same way, following the same values? As a social enterprise, your values will be at the heart of your UVP. 4. It must be something that you're able to promise and able to do. 5. It should be something quantifiable and something demonstrated easily. But once all that advice is applied and you have your UVP, we have to make sure that these values are shared by the entire enterprise so that they become an integral part of the enterprise's identity and moreover reinforce it in both our eyes and the eyes of our customers. I hope that you've been taking notes, because now it's time to put yourself to the test. I encourage you to think of a product or a service and propose your idea to 5 people, explaining what it is in detail. Afterwards, ask those 5 people what they think are the most important and advantageous features. The aim of this is to give you a better idea of your product and service. Once you have 3 or 4 characteristics, check that they coincide with what you want to convey and that they represent something unique in the market. If the answer to both of these is yes, now try to write your own UVP in one short sentence. To conclude this lesson, let's summarize the content we have covered. The unique value proposition is important for companies, startups, and social enterprises because it clarifies, in a few words, what benefits your product or service offers, the problem it solves for your customers, and above all, what distinguishes you from your competitors. The customer's point of view must be taken into account, and the UVP must not be generic, which is something we looked at. We also looked at creating and identifying your UVPs and ways to make it easier to do so. Looking forward to seeing you again in the next lesson.